welcome everybody. Welcome to this next episode of the Black Art and Culture Podcast. My name is Scott Terry. We are here at Mahogany Gallery and Mahogany Black Art and Cultural Center located in Racine, Wisconsin. Happy to have you here. And today, I'm excited to have our latest guest here, the one and only Mr. Gary Mines out of Chicago, Illinois. How you doing, Gary?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. But welcome to the show. Looking forward to talking with you about what's been going on in the world of Mr. Gary Mines. So we'll just kind of jump right into it. So Gary, just real quick, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us about Gary Mines. Who was Gary Mines?
I grew up in Chicago. I've been west side to south side. Now I live on the south side, but always had a love for art. Always loved it. When I was younger, I'll say about elementary school, I really found my love for art because I had a mentor there, and his name is Staggers. I'll send you his information if you want it, but his name is Staggers. He's an amazing artist. He does what he got to do, and he very much showed me how I can diversify my art from just making portraits about myself to actually placing portraits about Black people or Black narratives or surrealistic, almost fictional narratives that still kind of encompass like the Black struggle, the Black experience, just like from daily just to the point of just emotions. So when I went to high school, Shy Arts, I love that school, but every school got that one school you just go to, you like,
Yeah.
I love that school. It did a lot for me. It did. It really showed me that you do need fundamentals, because before that I was just self-taught and I had a mentor, but he was just showing me like a little bit of the basics versus me having to actually take college classes by college professors, and I was getting a good hang of it and I was doing pretty good. I mean, I have a lot of my work in here, but I had to pull it out for you to see because I started off as just graphite artist, just doing pure graphite, but I always kind of painted a little bit, but I was sticking to acrylics. But I felt like I loved acrylics, but the just drawing speed wasn't doing it for me. I wasn't able to really express the details and textures that I would, experience in oil wash. So I worked my way through that. As I was doing painting classes at school, I was also on my own time making work, just trying to practice myself. So I did a lot of self-practice, a lot of just honing my craft, and I'll say my trade background, because my father used to work construction and property management, actually helped me even more. Because I see art in everything we do, from architecture to just simple building patterns and just getting stuff done in the daily world, just like even the making of simple appliances incorporates art. So having that kind of that vision from both sides of the world really helped me perfect my art and have more of a hands-on experience. I would prefer like stationary over, digital, although I do digital work too, but I like to be able to sit there and get my hands dirty, carve out some linoleum and make shirts and make wood cuts. I learned it going also to Columbia, which I did for 2 years. And I was really immersing myself in the stationary practice and really learning how to do things by hand instead of just, I want a shirt made, let me go pay somebody. And I actually started that in high school because I was doing vinyl cuts. And I was, heat pressing everybody's shirts. You want a little something made for your team or your little club, they'll come to me. You want to start your brand? Come to me. And I was designing and helping on. I was really it was less of a business and more just me knowing that.
It's more like helping people out.
Yeah, because we don't know nothing about this. We don't know, or I wouldn't say we don't, but where I grew up,
right,
area, like they just knew, go pay somebody else to do it.
Right.
Just, let me go on Amazon, let me look at a little YouTube video, let me keep practicing. So I was doing that and I was showing people, I didn't care if, it made me lose business. It's just, we got to help each other at a certain point. Everything can't be about money. But I helped them out, and now they built their brands and they going up and beyond. I'm happy. It's like seeing little kids, but I still kind of do a little bit of that. Like this jacket I got on, you can see it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it. I see it.
I did. It's a little vinyl cut. I'm trying to rebrand right now from what I was doing in high school, which was just like going to pop-up shops. But I'm trying to rebrand it to a whole bigger business.
Yeah, a bigger brand. Yeah, well, what's the name of it? It's kind of hard to read. What did that say?
It says Free Fall.
Okay. Dig it. All right.
Dig
it. So that's an interesting background, Gary. I mean, you really talking about a lot of formal like instruction, like classes. You talk about Columbia. That's Columbia School of the Arts, something like that in Chicago, I think, right? And then Shy Arts. Is that a high school?
Yeah, it's a Chicago high school for the arts.
Okay, right on. So tell us about that experience. That had to be unique, because there's not too many, at least for my area. I mean, there's not too many, high schools of the arts.
It was weird. I was used to being, I come from South Side, West Side Chicago, like I said, and that's not usually a diverse area for young, Black children. But once I went there, it opened my eyes, to just everything. And, people expect, oh yeah, it's gonna be racist. It's gonna be racist. You're gonna have to overcome it, because when I wasn't paying attention to that, when I wasn't honing in on that, I was working and bettering myself and seeing ways to better others and meeting people who to now are still lifelong friends. I know some of them people for 8 years. We still cool. So it was fun, but it was a challenge, because when you just self-taught all your life, you just so content on, I taught myself this, I did this, I put myself in this position. Learning the fundamentals to say, I don't care about none of that. I don't care about your techniques. This is how the world follows it. When people are learning how to do art, this is usually the techniques that they learn from the masters and passing on. So having to not assimilate, but reorganize my brain in a way to still learn them techniques and then hold on to my own and combining the two to be better, that was my challenge. But I think I did pretty good to, succeed at that point.
Right on. All right, Gary. So yeah, that was interesting about, you talked a lot about the formal training, in with the Columbia College and then the Arts High School. How was that? Like, if you could pick one thing, how did that help you in your career? Like, what did you learn? What did you take away? If you could name like one thing that's really significant that you took away from that formal experience.
I learned, I would say the craziest or the best thing that I learned that helped me progress is how to really manage yourself. They focused a lot about managing yourself and, creating your own mental schedule to get things done. Because they give us like one project for a week and then 2 more projects, do like the next following week. So you had to really learn how to, okay, I got this painting due. So let me do, 2 hours here, 2 hours here, 3 hours here, get it done. And I say that helps me now, because when you go to college, it's really on you, and that's in life in general. It's on you. It's on nobody else. Either you get it done or it don't get done. So I think that just really helped build me as a person and as an artist.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, that's very true, man. And that's definitely connected to reality, right? You got a lot of things that you're juggling. So that's a good takeaway from that. So talk about, you mentioned it a little bit, what are some of the things that inspires your creativity?
I say Black people as a whole, lovely people. I know we get, stereotypes and all that, whatever. But when you live in reality, we just beautiful, radiant people. And I just feel like our history, our stories, our mythology, our legends, our folklore, everything about us as a whole, and just even talking about African Americans, if we just, going down to the specific point, we are amazing people. We got a lot to offer the world. And I feel like a lot of times, a lot of African Americans and people, just the Black diaspora, they kind of feel that disconnect from other Black people of different nations because we don't really know ourselves. We're a lost tribe in a sense. I feel like we have a lot to offer ourselves if we just look and learn. Beautiful people. And even just being American and being Black, a lot of times people just see that as a cornerstone because we do so much. We start the culture all around the world, the music, the art, the fashion, even most points, at certain points, technology. People in Chicago love cyber security. Big thing for it. Because when I was younger, the thing that was pressed upon us was technology. It's a new age. So I had to take coding classes. I had to learn how to, hook stuff up, and they focused in on it. And I really love Chicago for that, because if anything, that saved a lot of people.
Yeah, right on. That's interesting, man. So you talk about, the influence of your ancestral heritage as being Black in America. Now, this is a question I ask all the artists on this show. Do you consider yourself a Black artist or an artist who is Black?
I say a little bit of both, if you ask me honestly, because I am an artist that is Black. But first thing first, I am a Black artist. My story tells my narrative. My narrative is my story. So, and that's the only way for me to express it is through my art. I'm a Black artist, but I am also an artist that's Black, because my art can have anything to do about Blackness, but it doesn't mean because I'm Black, my art is automatically Black. I can go and make some landscapes, had nothing to do with, Black people, and that wouldn't take away who I am.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It make me more, so.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. It's typically like, when I ask that question, it's typically, a variety of different answers, so I always like asking that question. So when you talk about like, artistically or creatively, or even just, like from a technical standpoint, what do you feel is a challenge, or what do you feel like you struggle with that you need to get better?
I'll say patience, having patience, and really more so finding my patience in certain scenarios, especially with my art. I do know that I work quickly, just from me just being younger and always being able to just always have time to do it. But now I gotta have patience, it goes back to me organizing myself, organizing, my mental, and having the, patience to say, okay, let me work this time on this painting. I got 4 hours to do this painting, but I don't feel like it, or I got something else to do. But I know that if I put these 4 hours in and take that time within it, it'd come out how I want it to, versus just keep coming back and changing the idea. It's spoiled. So I say learning to have just more control over my time and having patience with it.
Yeah, sure. That's definitely that's a real life challenge for a lot of people. That's something that I'm working on too, So how do you overcome creative blocks? You ever just get to a point where you just feel like, you may not be feeling a piece, or like you have this idea and you get excited and you jump right into it, and then it's not really going like how you envisioned it, So how do you deal with that?
Well, again, because I feel like I just been doing art so long. It's just been such a part of my life. I usually will force myself to just start making stuff. Don't matter what medium it is, I want to make a shirt. I want to make a shirt design. I want to build something real quick. I need a stool when I'm painting, prop my feet on or sit on. To force myself to do something to get the, juices going.
Yeah.
I know eventually it comes.
Yeah. Right on. Okay. All right. A friend of mine, I asked that question to him. He was talking about, which really resonated with me. He was talking about, when I asked that question, he said he just switches gears. So he does something entirely different than what he was, quote unquote, known for. So he'll like jump into another medium and or do something that's totally different than what he's typically doing. So I thought that was pretty poignant too, man. So moving forward here, what does success look like to you? What is Gary Mines? If someone is saying, Gary Mines is successful, man, what do you hope they would connect that with?
Well, I know when people do give me accolades and, oh, you do amazing, you do this. I know they always say I got the work ethic, because I don't know, I feel like you can't give up. You give up, you should never start to begin with. Now you just wasted your own life. You're never gonna get that back. You're gonna push an idea, keep pushing it until you can't push it no more. So
getting back to that question, so success. Success to you is being able to keep pushing?
I feel like it's more me being able to keep pushing and acquiring my goals, but never forgetting why I'm pushing. I think that is success. Like, I can have all my paintings sold out, full studio, got a farm, got a workhouse. I'm going back and forth. And if I don't have no reason to keep going, am I really successful, or did I just put myself in a position where I'm comfortable and not trying to become better?
Yeah, dig it. Yeah, so pushing yourself, pushing the envelope in your own creativity and your personal goals.
Yeah.
Dig it. Do you have any other, Black artists that inspire you, or any artists in general? Is anyone that inspire your work, or just your practice as an artist?
I really like Kanye Wild. I really do. And what's that? He went to Columbia too. He helped start the Columbia Print House. Kerry James Marshall.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah, right on.
They really inspire me. I really like how they use the textures and the tone of Black people, because we come in so many different colors,
right,
so many different features, and I like how they kind of explore, the less common features, what's not getting shown in representation in media, image. What we see. You go into the hood, you go into a Black neighborhood, what you see every day, not what it's glamorized.
Right.
I really like that.
Right.
But it's another one, and he's more modern, more digital. He still kind of go by the classics.
Okay.
I think his name is Six Mall.
Six Mall?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he changes his name up a lot.
Okay.
But he does a lot of political rhetoric art.
Okay.
It's heavy.
All right. Well, you just named some heavy hitters over with Kerry James Marshall and Henday Wiley. That's for sure. Yeah, cool. So, how do you feel? How is art? What has art done for you? How has it shaped you as a human being, as a person?
I would think art has shaped me to be a person who always wants to see the light in everything, because the world is dark. We live in bad times, whole pandemic, people dying left and right, atrocities around every corner. But there's always light in the world. There's always light in people. People can be the worst people, horrible, deserve to be in jail, really terrible people, but they have that light in them. And if you can see it, you have the ability to see it, it's amazing. Yeah. It gives you that hope to keep going.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's deep, man. That's deep. That's sort of like the connection to the human condition, man. Like, we all have that innate, ability and power to, look out for each other. Like, look out for one another. Because that's really who we are as people. All right, next question. I like to ask this question too. So, if you could have a conversation with anybody in the history of the world at any time, who would that be? If you could just sit down and have a conversation pick their brain, learn more about them, and have a one-on-one conversation, who would that be?
I feel like everybody say Malcolm X.
Okay.
But I would love to have a conversation with him, but I don't know. That's a hard question.
Okay. All right. Well, here's the deal. I'm gonna let you slide right now, but we're gonna come back to that. Okay. So I want you to be thinking about that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So now we are getting into tail end of this interview. All right. So how do you feel about like in the scene now, like maybe you can speak on the Chicago art scene or just, art in general in the United States. How do you see things, moving forward? What are some of the changes that you see or are trying to be involved in? How you see the progression of, of art in general?
I say we're going towards at least in Chicago, what I see in Chicago down for, the United States. I see a lot of people who are self-taught, learning the classics, and they're integrating their style into it, and they becoming their own. A lot of special expression. A lot of that mixed in with a lot of I like to call it like street art. Using found materials or using whatever materials you can have on you, ballpoint pen, and making masterpieces. Digital art is really going up. I know NFTs and everything, but people actually learning these programs, learning the 3D programs, and making worlds.
Yeah,
we're gonna see a lot of that. I think the world is gonna go into a digital switch. People will always do, stationary and using, real life things, but we're gonna have to make that switch because eventually, that's all we're gonna have. At least I believe in the future. Even in the United States, people are making masterpieces in VR, and they getting paid for it, and they living their life. Versus, that's the same lifestyle people live when they make a painted with their real hands. Wash all the toxins, coming off from the paint. You enjoying it, and you living the same lifestyle. So I will see a little combination of it, but people will never give up on painters. Real life. Smell of the canvas, it'll always be there. But that whole new era of digital work is really starting to blossom.
So that's the conversation I had, with a friend of mine too. So talking about there's this sort of mindset that digital art is going to take over, right? What you just mentioned, like the traditional art. So like getting a canvas in front of you and whatever your medium is, to start doing it like face to face, right in front of you physically. Do you think you don't think that's ever going to go away? So there's always going to be a space for that?
It will always will, because I just know you can look at it now. You have people who are pushed towards technology. They love it. They're going to always want to have it. They just tech heads. And then you always will have people who are just okay with living in the world and being present and having to make your own canvas, stretch it yourself and create your own. And do for yourself and have tangible things. So it will always be that one another or people in between who still, like me, who I do digital, but I can still, stretch my own canvas and start painting.
Right.
So I feel like I don't know. It always will be the one or the other. But if technology keeps advancing the way it is now, and they talking about, full VR suits where you can go in the worlds and you live in it. People who are more who are more tech pushed are going to go towards the virtual world. That's a given. Yeah. But you will always have people who appreciate the classics.
Yeah.
That's how we live as a people, as a humans. Culture will always be there until we forget it, unfortunately. But we live in a world of, write everything down, take a picture of everything.
Yeah.
So how can we ever truly forget it?
Yeah, indeed. So what you're saying is really, there's a lane and a space for everybody. So there's a lane for the digital artists, right? And there's a lane for the traditional artists. And then like this metaverse thing is like, that's a whole nother level.
You seen the movie Ready Player One?
No, I haven't. No.
So it's basically the world we live in. They create like a giant universe where everybody can travel. You can play games, or you can have a house and do whatever you want. But like people are making bank, and these larger companies like J.P. Morgan and Chase Bank and Walmart, Target, they're buying land in the metaverse and using it as a bank. So if all the fiscal banks just go out, because we living in almost an economical downfall. If all the banks just go push, they can be in the metaverse still with their banks, because now they're trying to create a more stable digital coin that everybody can use.
Yeah, wow, that's deep, man. That's deep.
That's what I'm saying. You can get on it. I'm trying to, I'm learning about it now. Watching hour-long YouTube videos, how to code and how to do it a certain way. But once you get in on it, I've seen people who just like have a couple mining stations set up in their like basement, and they making thousands of dollars a week. They don't even work. They just sleeping at home, just making sure the system's running and just making passive income just like that from mining.
Wow. Like data mining, you saying?
No, they mining cryptocurrency.
Oh wow.
Like Ethereum. Oh.
Wow.
And they living off of it, rich. Wow. And I'm like, this is stuff we can learn now. If we learn this now as a people, because I don't feel like as Black people we have a disadvantage in technology. We get it.
Right.
And when we really get it, we thrive.
Yeah, indeed.
So, we can get in on this, and that's generational wealth. Or, okay, I'm about to die, I need to put something in my wheel. I give you my data miners. And my son can now eat forever. We can have a lifestyle that we we want. We want the American dream. That's our American dream, not having a struggle.
Right.
And generation after generation, we working the same job, struggling. Right. We want to just be able to, I got, 5 beach houses. And this is the time more than ever. This is what we can really get in there and dominate.
Yeah, wow, that's deep, man. That's deep. We're gonna have to reconnect on that, man. That's some stuff I'm trying to learn too, with that. But yeah, that's very poignant, man. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We've got we kind of touched on a lot of these things. What I want to do is I'll do a little game at the end of our interviews all the time. It's a word association, okay? So I'm gonna throw a word or a phrase at you, okay? Mm-hmm. And you let me know the first thing that comes to mind, okay? All right, ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. God.
Damn.
Okay. Art.
You said what?
Art.
Break. Okay. Interesting. All right.
Blackness.
Whole.
Okay. Creativity.
Vibrant. Like just everywhere.
Okay. And one last one. Future.
It's written.
Yeah, that's dope. Love it. All right, man. Well, that's gonna wrap up our interview, Gary. Is there anything you want to let the audience know, or any last word, parting word that you want to share with us?
If y'all want to look at my art, I'm pretty sure Scott's gonna put up my Instagram. My art name is Black Bar, but instead of a C, it's a V. So if y'all want to look on there, y'all can just contact me if y'all like the art, y'all want some commission work. I do logos, customizations, vinyl, garments, and I can plug y'all to a bunch of Black businesses that I also will send Scott's way.
Yeah, right on. Well, I appreciate you, Gary Mines. And we're also working on another exhibit with Gary. Gary is in our Black Humanity Now show, and we will be back at Mahogany Gallery as well. So, Gary, man, I want to, thank you for joining us today. It was a pleasure talking with you, brother. And you know, I love the energy, I love the passion, man. You got a lot of cool ideas, man. A lot of you know, creativity, man. So, you know, we're gonna reconnect. And thanks for joining the Black Art and Culture Podcast. So everybody, yeah, that's we're gonna have you back sometime soon, Gary. But for everybody else out there, check out our current show at Mahogany Gallery, Legacies and Resilience. And have it going on now until March 31st, 2022. And we're currently in the middle of the Wisconsin Black Art and Culture Expo. We have 12 artists in the show right now, and we hope to see you. And if you're not in the area, you can check it out online too, www.mahoganygallery.com, Instagram at Mahogany Gallery, and Facebook at Mahogany Gallery. All right. Thanks for joining us, Gary. It's a pleasure, brother. All right. All right. Be smooth.